You're never going to be as perfect as my mother." Jasper's words cut through the air like a knife. I stand there stunned as my husband of 5 years glares at me with a mixture of anger and contempt. "I'm not your mother, and I never will be," I shoot back, my voice trembling with rage. "I'm done trying to live up to her impossible standards." Jasper scoffs, rolling his eyes. "You couldn't even if you tried. She's everything you're not, elegant, refined, and knows how to keep a home." I feel my blood boil. Is that what you want, a housewife who caters to your every whim? Well, I've got news for you, Jasper. I'm my own person, with my own dreams and aspirations. I won't be your little puppet. He steps closer, his face inches from mine. "You knew what you were getting into when you married me. I thought you'd be different, but you're just like all the rest, selfish and ungrateful." Tears sting my eyes, but I refuse to let them fall. I won't give him the satisfaction of seeing me cry. If wanting to be treated with respect and equality makes me selfish, then so be it. I'm not going to apologize for standing up for myself. Jasper's jaw clenches, and for a moment I think he might hit me. But instead he turns on his heel and storms out of the room, slamming the door behind him. I sink to the floor, my legs no longer able to support me. How did we get here? When did the man I fell in love with turn into this cruel, controlling stranger? I think back to our early days when Jasper was charming and attentive. He swept me off my feet with grand gestures and promises of a beautiful future together. But as soon as we said "I do," everything changed. At first it was subtle. A snide comment here, a disapproving look there. But over time his behavior became more overt. He started dictating what I could wear, who I could see, and how I should spend my time. He even convinced me to quit my job, claiming that he wanted me to focus on being a homemaker. I thought I could handle it, that I could be the perfect wife he wanted. But no matter how hard I tried, it was never enough. And now as I sit here on the cold, hard floor, I realize that I've lost myself in the process. A sudden wave of determination washes over me. I won't let Jasper break me. I won't let him control my life any longer. I push myself up, wiping away the tears that have managed to escape. It's time to take back my power, to rediscover the strong, independent woman I once was. I don't know how I'll do it, but I know I can't continue living like this. As I stand there, staring at the closed door, I make a silent vow to myself. I will find a way out of this toxic marriage, no matter what it takes. I will rebuild my life on my own terms, and I will never again let anyone dim my light. With a deep breath, I take my first step towards freedom, towards the future I know I deserve. It won't be easy, but I'm ready to fight for it, for myself and for the life I know I'm meant to live. As I sit in my car, parked outside Naomi's house, I can't help but reflect on the past 5 years of my marriage. How did I let things get so bad? I used to be a strong, independent woman, but somehow Jasper managed to chip away at my self-esteem, piece by piece. I think back to the early warning signs. The way he would criticize my cooking, my appearance, even the way I laughed. At first I brushed it off as him being particular, but now I see it for what it was, a systematic attempt to control every aspect of my life. And then there were the lies. The late nights at the office, the mysterious phone calls, the sudden trips out of town. I always had a nagging suspicion that something wasn't right, but I never had the courage to confront him. Until now. I take a deep breath and exit the car, making my way up the path to Naomi's front door. She opens it before I even have a chance to knock, enveloping me in a tight hug. "I'm so glad you're here," she whispers, leading me inside. "I've been worried sick about you." We settle onto her couch, and I pour out my heart, telling her everything that's happened over the past few weeks. The arguments, the accusations, the growing distance between Jasper and me. "I think he's cheating on me," I confess, my voice barely above a whisper. "With his new secretary, Scarlett." Naomi's eyes widen. "That little tramp? I knew there was something off about her the moment I met her." I nod, feeling a mix of anger and despair wash over me. "I don't know what to do. Naomi, I feel like I'm losing my mind." She takes my hand, her expression fierce. "You need to find out the truth, Arya. You deserve to know what's really going on." I bite my lip, hesitating. "But how? Jasper's so secretive. He barely lets me near his phone or computer." Naomi leans in, a glint of determination in her eyes. "Leave that to me. I have a friend who's a private investigator. He owes me a favor. I feel a flicker of hope ignite in my chest. Maybe, just maybe, I can finally get the answers I need. Over the next few days, Naomi's friend tails Jasper, gathering evidence of his infidelity. When he presents me with the proof, photos of Jasper and Scarlett in compromising positions, recordings of their intimate conversations, I feel like I've been punched in the gut. But beneath the pain, there's a simmering rage. How dare he betray me like this? How dare he make a mockery of our marriage vows? I confront Jasper that night, throwing the evidence in his face. He has the audacity to deny it at first, but when he realizes he's been caught, his demeanor changes. So what if I'm sleeping with her? He sneers, his eyes cold. It's not like you're fulfilling my needs. You're a pathetic excuse for a wife. I see red. Before I know what I'm doing, I'm screaming at him, hurling every insult I can think of. He matches me, word for word, his voice rising until we're both shouting at the top of our lungs. And then, suddenly, he's on me, his hands around my throat, squeezing the air from my lungs. I claw at his fingers, gasping for breath, but he's too strong. Black spots dance in my vision as I feel myself slipping away. The next thing I know, I'm waking up in a hospital bed, my head throbbing and my arm in a cast. The doctors tell me I'm lucky to be alive, that I suffered a concussion and a broken arm from falling down the stairs. But I know the truth. Jasper pushed me. And if it hadn't been for a neighbor hearing the commotion and calling the police, I might not have survived. As I lie there, bruised and broken, I make a decision. I won't let Jasper win. I won't let him destroy me. I'll do whatever it takes to bring him to justice and rebuild my life, even if it means facing my darkest fears and confronting the ugliest parts of myself. The hospital room is cold and sterile, the beeping of machines my only company. I stare at the stark white ceiling, trying to process the events of the past few hours. How could Jasper do this to me? How could he hurt me like this? As if on cue, the door opens and my father Henry walks in. His face is etched with worry, his eyes red-rimmed from lack of sleep. "Arya, my baby girl," he whispers, rushing to my bedside. "I came as soon as I heard. Are you okay?" I try to smile, but it comes out as more of a grimace. "I've been better, Dad, but I'll survive." He takes my hand, his grip firm and reassuring. "I know you will, sweetheart. You're the strongest person I know." Tears prick at the corners of my eyes. I don't feel very strong right now. I feel like a fool for not seeing Jasper for who he really is. My father's expression hardens. That man is a monster. I always had a bad feeling about him, but I never imagined he'd go this far. I nod, swallowing the lump in my throat. "There's more, Dad. I found out he's been embezzling money from his father's company, and he's been using it to fund his affair with his secretary." Henry's eyes widen. "Embezzlement? Affair? Jesus, Arya, you need to get away from him. Press charges. Make him pay for what he's done." I hesitate, fear gripping my heart. But what if he comes after me? What if he tries to hurt me again? My father's jaw clenches. He won't get the chance. I'll make sure of it. I may be retired, but I still have connections on the force. We'll get a restraining order, and I'll personally see to it that he's arrested for assault. Relief washes over me, followed by a sudden wave of nausea. I lurch forward, my hand flying to my mouth. "Arya, what's wrong?" my father asks, alarmed. I shake my head, trying to steady my breathing. "I don't know. I just feel sick all of a sudden." A nurse enters the room, a clipboard in hand. "Miss Hawthorne, I have your test results back." I look up, my heart pounding. "Test results? What test results?" The nurse gives me a sympathetic smile. "The pregnancy test, dear. Congratulations. You're going to be a mother." The room spins, and I feel like I might pass out. Pregnant? How can this be happening? I can't bring a child into this mess. I can't let Jasper have any more power over me. My father squeezes my hand, his voice gentle. "Arya, listen to me. This baby is a blessing, a chance for a fresh start. You can do this. You can be an amazing mother." I close my eyes, trying to imagine a future where I'm not constantly looking over my shoulder, waiting for Jasper to strike. A future where my child is safe and loved and protected. "You're right, Dad," I say, my voice barely above a whisper. "I can do this. I have to do this. For my baby and for myself." I open my eyes, a newfound determination coursing through my veins. I'm filing for divorce, and I'm going to make sure Jasper pays for everything he's done, to me and to his family's company. My father nods, a proud smile on his face. "That's my girl. I'll be with you every step of the way. We'll get through this together. As I lie there, my hand resting on my still flat stomach, I feel a flicker of hope. Maybe this baby is a sign. A reminder that even in the darkest of times, there's still a chance for light, for love, for a future worth fighting for. And fight I will, with every ounce of strength I have left in me, for my child, and for the woman I know I can become. Jasper may have broken my bones, but he'll never break my spirit. Not now, not ever. The divorce papers feel heavy in my hands as I sit across from Jasper and his mother, Evelyn. Her eyes are cold, her lips pressed into a thin line of disapproval. "Arya, dear," she says, her voice dripping with false concern. "Are you sure this is what you want? A divorce is so final. Think of the family name. Think of Jasper's reputation." I feel a surge of anger. Jasper's reputation? What about my well-being? What about the fact that he pushed me down the stairs and nearly killed me and our unborn child? Evelyn waves a dismissive hand. "Oh, don't be so dramatic. It was an accident. Jasper would never intentionally hurt you." I laugh, the sound bitter and hollow. "An accident? Is that what he told you? Well, let me tell you the truth, Evelyn. Your son is a monster. He's been cheating on me, embezzling money, and abusing me for years. And I'm done. I'm done being his punching bag and his doormat." Jasper leans forward, his eyes narrowed. "You're making a mistake, Arya. You'll never survive without me. You're nothing without me." I meet his gaze, unflinching. "That's where you're wrong, Jasper. I'm everything without you, and I'm going to make sure you pay for what you've done, to me and to your father's company." Evelyn gasps, her hand flying to her chest. "What are you talking about? Jasper would never steal from his own father." I slide a folder across the table. "I have proof. Bank statements, emails, recordings. He's been embezzling for years, using the money to fund his lavish lifestyle and his affair with his secretary." Jasper's face pales, and for a moment I see a flicker of fear in his eyes. But then it's gone, replaced by cold, hard rage. "You bitch!" he snarls, lunging across the table. "I'll kill you for this." But before he can reach me, my father steps forward, placing himself between us. "Touch her again, and I'll make sure you rot in prison for the rest of your miserable life." Evelyn is sobbing now, her carefully crafted facade crumbling. "Jasper, tell me it's not true. Tell me this is all a misunderstanding." But Jasper says nothing, his jaw clenched tight. I can see the wheels turning in his head, trying to find a way out of this mess. I stand up, my head held high. "It's over, Jasper. I'm filing for divorce, and I'm taking full custody of our child. You'll pay child support, and you'll stay away from us. Forever." I turn to Evelyn, my voice softening. "I know you love your son, Evelyn, but he needs help. He needs to face the consequences of his actions, and if you truly care about him, you'll let him do that." With that, I walk out of the room, my father by my side. I feel a weight lift off my shoulders, a sense of freedom I haven't felt in years. But I know this is just the beginning. Jasper won't go down without a fight. He'll try to weasel his way out of this, to manipulate the system in his favor. But I'm ready. I have the truth on my side, and I have the support of the people who love me. My father, Naomi, now my unborn child. As I step out into the sunlight, I take a deep breath, feeling the warmth on my face. For the first time in a long time, I feel hope. Hope for a better future, a future free from fear and pain. I place a hand on my stomach, a small smile playing at the corners of my lips. "It's just you and me now, little one, but we're going to be okay. We're going to make it through this, and we're going to come out stronger on the other side." And with that, I take my first steps towards my new life, my head held high and my heart full of determination. Jasper may have broken my bones, but he'll never break my spirit. Not now, not ever. The weeks following my confrontation with Jasper and Evelyn are a blur of legal meetings and doctor's appointments. My father, true to his word, has been by my side every step of the way, helping me navigate the complex world of divorce proceedings and criminal investigations. Today we sit in his study, poring over the evidence he's managed to gather on Jasper's shady dealings. Bank statements, phone records, surveillance photos, it's all there, painting a damning picture of a man consumed by greed and power. "I've seen a lot of scumbags in my time on the force," my father says, shaking his head. "But Jasper takes the cake. The things he's done, the people he's hurt, it's unforgivable." I nod, my eyes fixed on a particularly incriminating email exchange between Jasper and a known associate of the mob. I just don't understand how he could do this, how he could betray his own family, his own wife, for money and power. My father sighs, leaning back in his chair. Some people are just wired differently, Arya. They don't have a conscience or a sense of right and wrong. They'll do whatever it takes to get what they want, no matter who gets hurt in the process. I feel a chill run down my spine, remembering the cold, calculating look in Jasper's eyes as he lunged at me across the table. Do you think he'll go to prison? For the embezzlement and for what he did to me? My father nods, his jaw set in determination. I'll make damn sure of it. I've already turned over all the evidence to the authorities. They're building a case against him as we speak. Relief washes over me, followed by a sudden wave of fear. But what if he tries to come after me? What if he tries to take our child away? My father leans forward, taking my hand in his. Arya, listen to me. I won't let that happen. I'll do whatever it takes to keep you and my grandchild safe. Even if it means putting myself between you and Jasper. Tears prick at the corners of my eyes, and I squeeze my father's hand. I don't know what I'd do without you, Dad. You've been my rock through all of this. He smiles, his eyes soft with love. That's what fathers are for, sweetheart, to protect their children, no matter what. We sit in silence for a moment, the weight of the past few months hanging heavy in the air. Finally, my father clears his throat, his expression turning serious. There's something else you should know, Arya. Something about Jasper's past. I feel a knot form in the pit of my stomach. What is it? My father takes a deep breath, as if steeling himself for what he's about to say. I did some digging, and it turns out this isn't the first time Jasper's been accused of domestic violence. His ex-girlfriend, a woman named Tara, filed a restraining order against him years ago. She claimed he beat her, threatened to kill her if she ever left him. I feel like I might be sick. Oh my God, why didn't I know about this? Why didn't anyone warn me? My father shakes his head, his expression grim. He had it sealed, buried deep, probably paid off a judge or two to make it go away. But it's all coming out now. The truth always has a way of coming to light. I close my eyes, trying to process this new information. How could I have been so blind? How could I have missed the signs? But even as I berate myself, I feel a new sense of determination taking hold. I won't let Jasper get away with this. I won't let him hurt anyone else the way he hurt me. I open my eyes, meeting my father's gaze with a steely resolve. We have to stop him, Dad. We have to make sure he never lays a hand on another woman again. My father nods, a proud smile playing at the corners of his lips. That's my girl. We'll take him down, Arya, together, and we'll make sure he pays for every last one of his sins. The sound of shattering glass jolts me awake, my heart pounding in my chest. For a moment, I'm disoriented, my mind still foggy with sleep. But then I hear it again, the unmistakable sound of footsteps creeping through my apartment. Fear grips me, cold and paralyzing. I know it's Jasper. I can feel it in my bones. He's come for me, just like I always feared he would. I reach for my phone with shaking hands, dialing 911. But before I can even get a word out, my bedroom door bursts open and there he is. His eyes wild, his face contorted with rage. You stupid bitch, he snarls, stalking towards me. You thought you could ruin me? You thought you could take everything away from me? I scramble out of bed, my legs tangling in the sheets. Jasper, please, don't do this. Think about our child. He laughs, the sound harsh and mocking. Our child? You mean the bastard you're carrying? That thing is no child of mine. Tears stream down my face as I back away from him, my eyes darting around the room for an escape. But he's blocking the only exit, his body coiled with menace. I'm going to make you pay, Arya. I'm going to make you suffer for what you've done to me. He lunges at me, his hands outstretched. I dodge to the side, my instincts taking over. I've spent years being his victim, but not anymore. Not tonight. I grab the lamp from my bedside table, swinging it with all my might. It connects with Jasper's head with a sickening crack, sending him stumbling backwards. I don't waste a second. I run, my bare feet pounding against the hardwood floors. I can hear Jasper behind me, his footsteps heavy and unsteady. I make it to the front door, my fingers fumbling with the lock. But before I can wrench it open, Jasper is on me, his hands wrapping around my throat. You're not going anywhere, he growls, his breath hot against my face. "You're mine, Arya. You'll always be mine." Black spots dance in my vision as he squeezes tighter, cutting off my air supply. I claw at his hands, desperate for release, but he's too strong, too fueled by rage and hatred. Just as I feel myself slipping away, the sound of sirens pierces the air. Jasper's grip loosens, his head whipping towards the window. "Police! Open up!" He curses under his breath, releasing me. I collapse to the floor, gasping for air. The next few moments are a blur of shouts and splintering wood as the police break down the door. They swarm into the apartment, their guns drawn. "Jasper Hawthorne, you're under arrest for attempted murder and breaking and entering." I watch as they handcuff him, his eyes still blazing with fury. But as they lead him away, I feel a sense of relief wash over me. It's over. He can't hurt me anymore. My father is there, his arms wrapping around me in a tight embrace. "It's okay, Arya. You're safe now. He's never going to touch you again." I nod, my body shaking with sobs. "I thought he was going to kill me, Dad. I thought I was going to die." He strokes my hair, his voice soft and soothing. "But you didn't. You fought back. You survived. And now he's going to pay for everything he's done." As the adrenaline fades, I feel a new emotion taking hold, a fierce, burning anger. Jasper may be in custody, but this isn't over, not by a long shot. I'll see him brought to justice. I'll make sure he spends the rest of his miserable life behind bars, and I'll do it all for our child, the innocent life he so callously dismissed. I may be battered and bruised, but I'm not broken. I'm a survivor, and I'll never let anyone make me feel powerless again. The courtroom is packed, the air thick with tension. I sit at the prosecutor's table, my father and Naomi by my side. Jasper is across the aisle, his face a mask of cold indifference. The trial has been a grueling ordeal, each day bringing new revelations of Jasper's cruelty and deceit. But today, as the final witness takes the stand, I feel a sense of anticipation building in my chest. Scarlett, Jasper's former mistress, looks nervous as she's sworn in. Her eyes dart around the room, avoiding Jasper's icy stare. "Miss Johnson," the prosecutor begins, "can you please tell the court about your relationship with the defendant?" Scarlett takes a deep breath, her hands trembling slightly. "We were lovers. He told me he was going to leave his wife for me, that we were going to start a new life together." Jasper's lawyer jumps to his feet. "Objection. Relevance?" The judge waves him off. "Overruled. Continue, Miss Johnson." Scarlett nods, her voice growing stronger. "He promised me the world, but it was all a lie. He never had any intention of leaving Arya. He was just using me, like he used everyone else in his life." I feel a pang of sympathy for Scarlett, despite everything. She was just another pawn in Jasper's twisted game. The prosecutor presses on, his voice firm. "And what happened when you confronted him about his lies?" Scarlett's eyes fill with tears. "He hit me. He told me I was nothing, that I meant nothing to him. He said if I ever told anyone about us, he'd kill me." The courtroom erupts in gasps and murmurs. I glance at Jasper, expecting to see anger or defiance, but instead I see something else. Fear. As Scarlett steps down from the stand, the prosecutor calls his final witness. The state calls Evelyn Hawthorne to the stand. I watch in disbelief as Jasper's mother takes the oath, her face a mask of sorrow and regret. "Mrs. Hawthorne," the prosecutor says gently, "I know this must be difficult for you, but can you please tell the court about your son's behavior towards his wife?" Evelyn takes a shuddering breath, her eyes fixed on her hands. "I knew he was hurting her. I saw the bruises, heard the fights, but I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to believe my son could be capable of such things." She looks up, her gaze locking with mine. "But I was wrong. I was so wrong. And I'm so sorry, Arya. I should have protected you. I should have stopped him." Tears stream down my face as Evelyn's words wash over me. For so long I thought I was alone in this fight. But now I see that I have allies in the most unexpected places. The prosecutor turns to the jury, his voice ringing with conviction. "Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard the evidence. You have heard the testimony of the brave women who survived Jasper Hawthorne's abuse. And now it's time for justice to be served." The jury deliberates for less than an hour before returning with their verdict, guilty on all counts. I feel a rush of emotion as the judge reads out the sentence, 25 years to life, with no chance of parole. It's over. It's finally over. As the bailiffs lead Jasper away, he turns to me, his eyes burning with hatred. This isn't over, Arya. I'll find a way to make you pay for this. But I just smile, my head held high. No, Jasper, you're the one who's going to pay for the rest of your miserable life. I walk out of the courtroom, my father and Naomi by my side. The sun is shining, the air crisp and clean. For the first time in years, I feel truly free. I know the road ahead won't be easy. I have a child to raise, a life to rebuild. But I also know that I'm not alone. I have the love and support of my family, my friends, and my own unbreakable spirit. And that's enough. That's more than enough. 5 years. That's how long it's been since I walked out of that courtroom, my head held high and my heart finally free. 5 years of raising my daughter, of building a life on my own terms, 5 years of healing, of learning to trust again, of rediscovering the strength that Jasper tried so hard to steal from me. But now, as I watch Lily play in the park, her laughter ringing out like a bell, I feel a familiar sense of unease creeping up my spine. Because today is the day that Jasper is being released from prison, his sentence cut short by some bureaucratic loophole that I still don't fully understand. I've been dreading this moment for months, ever since I got the call from the prison warden. I knew it was coming, but somehow I still feel unprepared. How do you face the man who nearly destroyed you, who left scars on your body and your soul that will never fully heal? I'm jolted out of my thoughts by a voice calling my name. I turn, my heart dropping into my stomach. It's Jasper, his face leaner and harder than I remember, his eyes still filled with that same cold hatred. "Arya," he says, his voice dripping with false charm. "It's been a long time." I stand up, my body tense and ready for a fight. "What do you want, Jasper?" He smiles, the expression not quite reaching his eyes. "I want to see my daughter, of course. I have rights, you know." I shake my head, my voice trembling with barely suppressed rage. "You lost those rights the moment you laid a hand on me, the moment you tried to kill me and our unborn child." Jasper takes a step forward, his fists clenched at his sides. "Don't test me, Arya. I've spent the last 5 years dreaming of this moment, dreaming of the day I'd finally get to see you and Lily again." I stand my ground, my chin lifted in defiance. "You'll never see her, Jasper, not as long as I'm alive." He laughs, the sound harsh and grating. "You think you can stop me? You think you have any power here?" I feel a sudden surge of strength, the same strength that carried me through the darkest days of my marriage, through the long and painful journey of rebuilding my life. "I have all the power, Jasper, because I'm not afraid of you anymore. I'm not the same woman you married, the same woman you tried to break. I'm stronger now, stronger than you'll ever be." Jasper's face twists with rage, his hands balling into fists. But before he can take a step, I hear a voice calling out from behind me. "Mommy!" I turn, my heart swelling with love and pride as I see Lily running towards me, her face flushed with joy. I scoop her up into my arms, holding her close. "Hey, baby girl," I murmur, pressing a kiss to her forehead. "I love you so much." I turn back to Jasper, my voice steady and calm. "This is my life now, Jasper. This is my family, and you have no place in it. Not now, not ever." For a moment, I see a flicker of something in his eyes, regret, perhaps, or even a hint of shame. But it's gone as quickly as it appeared, replaced by that same cold, hard anger. "This isn't over, Arya," he says, his voice low and menacing. "You can't keep me from my own flesh and blood." I shake my head, a small smile playing at the corners of my lips. "Watch me." And with that, I turn and walk away, Lily still nestled in my arms. I can feel Jasper's eyes boring into my back, but I don't look back. I don't give him the satisfaction. Because I know deep in my bones that I've already won. I've won the battle for my own soul, for my own happiness, and no matter what Jasper does, no matter how hard he tries, he'll never be able to take that away from me. I am a survivor, I am a warrior, and I will never, ever let anyone make me feel powerless again.